Welcome back to the No Pillz podcast, Love Fully Scripted. I'm Gordon McGee, your guide through this journey that we call love. When a man truly loves you, ladies, he will do these things. Brothers, when you truly love a woman, you will do these things. And if you want to find out what these things are, then stick around because we're getting right into it today. First thing on the list, when you love a woman, the only way we're getting that done, brothers, is by first loving God. So ladies, if he loves you, he will love God. I want to submit to you that it is impossible. Gentlemen, listen up. It is impossible to fully love a woman, by the truest definition of what love is, without you loving God, without you having a relationship with your creator, without you being appreciative of your creator. Without that component, without there being a person, an individual, a man, a being modeling before you of what love actually looks like and what it is an impossibility for you. You will utterly fail at loving your woman. And the same could be said for the woman as well. So it's vice versa. And you're saying, like, Brother Gordon, I'm not even religious. I don't even, like, what do you mean? Why do I have to, but what God are you talking about? And you can kind of start to argue with me in your mind and going down that path. But I want to read you something from Ephesians 5, verse 25. Husbands, love your wives, even as Christ also loved the church and gave himself for it. Friends, here's the example. Here is the template. Here is the blueprint that we are supposed to be imitating, the pattern that we are supposed to be replicating. So if this is the truest, purest form of love in the person of Christ, him dying for the church, and then God is saying to you, love your wife as Christ loved the church. If you don't understand how Christ loved the church, then you won't understand how to love your wife. And it says, gave himself for it. He gave himself. He died to himself for his bride. He put himself last. He put her first. Let me talk to you, gentlemen. What does this look like in practice? Doing things that you don't want to do with or for your wife with a smile. So there's some event your wife wants to go to. You don't want to go to it. Somebody you're courting, your girlfriend, she wants to go out and do something, but you really don't want to do it. You have zero interest in doing it. You're like, ugh. And so you do one of two things. Either you complain and make a big show or deal or stink, or you just say no and you don't go and her feelings are hurt. Or you do go, but while you're there the whole time, you have an attitude. You're not in a good mood. I know I'm touching on a nerve right now. I know there are those couples listening right now who understand what I'm saying. I know there are men listening right now who are in a relationship and you're behaving this way, or you were in a relationship and you were behaving that way. Brethren, that is not love. He gave himself for the church. He laid down his will, his desires, right? His main key desire was to die for his church, for his bride. He died to self. So in those acts, in those daily operations and routines, the daily rounds of life that we're called to participate in as husband and wife, you're under the same roof and it's like, the dishes have to get done. Floor has to be vacuumed. Outdoor activities have to be completed. Outdoor tasks. Honey-do list exists. And brethren, if you don't do those things with a smile, what is that doing to your spouse? When you're making her feel like a burden, like she's being difficult, and you just don't want to have a good spirit and good mindset and good attitude about doing something that she wants to do. This is an example of when it says Christ died for the church. So not only are you called to lay down your life for your bride if she is in danger, there's a burglar, if there's some crazy man out there, some person that wants to do your wife harm, are you prepared to lay down your life for her? But also you must lay down your life for her in daily activities. Just coming together, going out, dinner with friends that you don't want to go to, things you don't want to participate in. Smile. Smile, friends. Come on, brethren. Come on, my brothers. Smile. Let me see those pearly whites. Yes, honey, I don't mind going to do that. Let's do that. You may be tired from after work. Come on. You've had a long day, and now it's like you got to go home, and you've got to deal with the wife and the kids. You had them. You chose to marry her. You chose to have the babies. Your job is not done yet, men. You on worked all day and you got to go home and do some more work. This is what it really looks like, beloved. Husbands, love your wives even as Christ also loved the church and gave himself for it. Nevertheless, let every one of you in particular so love his wife even as himself, and the wife see that she reverence her husband. Get some of that, ladies. Accept that into your spirit. Let that flow over your mind. Let that saturate in that reverence. But gentlemen, if you are involved in self-harm, then how can you love your wife? Because you're supposed to love your wife as yourself. So if you're neglecting yourself, if you're abusing yourself, if you don't care about yourself, then you cannot love your wife. You are now one flesh. And so the things that you would do to your own self is what you're supposed to do to your wife. So if you're abusing or mistreating yourself, then what's the likelihood? What's the outcome of that? You're more likely to then abuse and mistreat your wife because you don't even respect yourself. So you're going to disrespect her. You don't even love yourself. So you're going to love her. So you can't love her. And that again comes and stems from us having the proper perspective and outlook of how God views us and sees us. So in other words, when you realize that you're a son of God, when you realize that you're a priest of God, when you realize your calling and your identity in Christ, that allows you to love yourself the way God loves you, to place value upon yourself. And therefore, you can now go love your wife even as yourself. But when you're coming from broken places, no father in the home, no God, no religion, no church, no faithfulness, no loving, no serving other people, only living for ourselves, doing for ourselves, we're not really equipped. We're not really prepared to be anybody's husband. So this increases the likelihood that we're going to go break a heart, break a home, break a woman. So men, listen to what I'm saying. You've got to find your identity in God. You've got to find your purpose in God, your calling in God. You've got to find out who and what you are and what you've been called to do, so that you can do it, not by your own might and by your own power. The other reason you need to connect with God is so you can have the strength. Let me back up a little bit, because I don't want to just go over any of my brother's heads and you leave the podcast today not knowing what and how to be successful in what I'm talking about. So the only way you're going to have a good attitude after working a long day at work and coming home and being nice to your family and wanting to spend time and to do things you don't want to do with a smile is only by the indwelling of the Holy Ghost. This is you praying before you go inside, praying before you left for work in the morning, praying while you were at work, you staying connected to Jesus. So that way you can come in and bear the imprint, can bear the image of God, bear the love of God to your family. You in and of yourself do not have the power. You need your humanity to be united with divinity so that you can be the man of God that God is calling you to be. Let me be clear about that. Forgive me if for a second that you thought I was sending you out there to just be selfless when I know your heart is selfish of your own power. No, you must be praying. You must be tapping into the word. You must be reading. And you must be expressing your love in other people. You must be ministering to other people throughout your day. You have to be able to come into your household and realize, you know what? Even though I'm providing for this home, I'm breaking my back for this household, it's not about me. And if you've married the right woman, that love and self-denial that you're giving her, she is going to reciprocate and give that right back to you. And if you're raising your children right, correctly, that love and self-denial that you're bestowing upon them, these little people, as they grow, these little humans, they too will begin to learn how to reciprocate that self-sacrificing love that a family so desperately needs and the world is dying for, friends. We're starving for it. Hope this makes sense to you. All right, so he will love God. First thing's going to happen. When a man truly loves a woman, he will love God first. He will marry her. He will desire to make a lifelong commitment with her. He will desire to be one flesh with her. He will not want to share her with anyone else in any shape, form, or fashion. He will want to lock it down. He will believe he has found the most precious thing that is far above the value of rubies. He will say, this is my wife. This is the mother of my children. I love her. I appreciate her. I see that she can educate my little ones. I see that she loves me. When a man sees, when he respects and appreciates a woman, where's the refrain from marrying her? Now listen, Let me say this, because I know where I'm coming from. There was a time in my walk, friends, where I did not desire to be married. Men, you're going to relate to this. I know you are. Because I had seen other people get divorced. So what was modeled before me is what left the imprint upon me. I saw divorce. I said, well, I'm not going to do that. But as I got to know God, as I got to understand the value of marriage, when I began to understand who and what a wife is, my helpmeet, I then transitioned and said, man, I wanted to please God. I wanted to honor my wife. I wanted to love, protect her, nurture her, pour into her spiritually. I had a change of mind, change of heart. And I loved her, so therefore I married her. And friends, let me tell you, I had the bittersweet experience of losing my wife to cancer. She was 37 years old. Okay, many of you know this. You've been on the podcast, listened for a while. And I thank God that I received the privilege to be there with her during her last hours, during her last months, during her last years of life, that she didn't have to go through that experience alone. There is such a gift in marriage, such a peace that God desires us to have. I know that there are many marriages where there's not peace, where there is no peace, where there is headache and arguing. But friends, that is not how it's supposed to be. That is the human element damaging and destroying what God is intended for it to be. This is the flesh and Satan getting involved in this holy institution that God gave us in perfection. So you don't have to participate in that. You can actually be a loving spouse. Come on. You can actually be self-denying. Come on. And both parties should be striving for that along with the children. Okay? He's gonna want to marry you. He is going to marry you. You're not going to have to beg him. When he recognizes your value and your worth, he's going to want to obtain that and secure that. I would even go as far as to say that even for a man who may be out here and has a bad taste in his mouth and has been, does not want to get married legally, on the books and all that type of thing. We have another podcast, we spoke about this. I still would think that he would make you the only one in his life, the only woman in his life. He would still make a commitment to you that only involved you and he. If he loves you, he's not going to cheat. That's what I'm saying. Yeah, gentlemen, I said it. If you love a woman, you are not going to cheat on her. The Bible says, thou shalt not commit adultery. The Bible says that you have become one flesh. When you love a woman, you will not risk and put her health in jeopardy to bring her some STD, some STI. Woman, when you love a man, you will not shame him, disrespect him, destroy his pride, his trust by letting another man inside of you that's not your husband when you respect him, when you love him. It's that simple, friends. I know there is so much poisonous, noxious ideas and theories, doctrines and philosophies you can find here online that are encouraging infidelity under the mask and guise of some euphemism that they want to put out there and trying to call it love. But who is going to jeopardize the health of their partner if they love them? Come on, think about what I'm saying to you. Who's going to do that when there's love? And listen, and just because some of you, not encouraging this, but just because some of you did not go down to the courthouse and did not say, I do, did not go to the church and made that commitment before God in the body of friends and believers, do not think that it's okay to cheat. I'm talking to you. See, because some folks some of y'all don't want to get married because you still want to play the field. Some of you don't want to get married because you think, oh, it's okay to have infidelity outside of marriage. No, fornication outside of marriage is a sin, friends. Gentlemen, I'm talking to you. Man up. Set yourself up for eternity. Set yourself up for real wealth, for spiritual wealth, which will manifest itself, I believe, also in physical, monetary wealth. Like set your lineage up, not playing these games. If I want to be out in the street, sleeping with any and everything that's moving. Now, listen, I have a warning. I have a warning to my male audience, in particular, that is saturated in red pill ideology, red pill philosophy. I know some of you are watching and listening because I see your comments. I see the dislikes on some of my videos. And I've had some interaction with a few of you. And welcome to No Pills, brethren. No blue pills, no red pills. If there's any pill here, it's the pill of truth. So I don't care whose toes I step on, if they're red or blue toes, let them be stepped on. The truth is always the truth. So these next few principles, these next few expressions that will come from a man that truly loves a woman may disrupt or may be in conflict with your red pill ideology. So let it be. Let it be so, friend. Love is patient and kind. Now, some of you may not think that's a necessity because of some of the ideas that you hold. Some of us think we're at a place now where it's okay to disrespect women and you don't have to be kind to women. In females, my female audience, same thing for you. Some of us think we can just talk down to a man, talk disrespectfully to a man, and then think we're supposed to have a good, healthy relationship. Men, I know a lot of times we can be impatient with the wife and with the children, right? They don't understand something. They're not getting it close enough. They don't understand how things work outside, inside. We can get impatient. It doesn't just manifest itself in going to Target or TJ Maxx or going shopping and not having patience with that. I think once in a while, men, we should try to exhibit, display, practice some patience. If you do have a wife who likes to go out and shop and stand around and just window shop or whatever. Getting to spend time together, right? I know time is valuable. Most precious commodity we have in all the universe is time. Don't know how much of it we actually have, do we? But if a man loves you, if you love a woman, you're going to be patient and you're going to be kind. This calling your wife out of her name, this calling your husband out of his name, what is going on? This making a joke of them, a spectacle of them in front of other people. Where do we do this at? What has happened to relationships? What has happened to the institution of marriage? That there's no respect and love present. That we would talk to each other in these demeaning tones, these condescending tones. We make our spouse the butt of our jokes. What is this, friends? No, that's not right. That's all wrong. There's nothing about that right. That's all wrong. Now, if you're coming out of that red pill space, you're going to not be envious or boastful. Now, I know there's a bit of peacocking that happens in the manosphere, in the male psyche, in the male community. And we want to go around chest poked out in the gym, nice and swole, and we want to peacock. But friends, is it boastful when we have fancy watches and fast cars? And look how many women I have and all this. A lot of boasting going on, thinking more, having an exaggerated, friends, thought of ourselves, bleeding right into arrogance. Listen, a man who loves a woman is not going to be mean to her. He's going to be patient with her, not impatient. He's not going to be envious, not going to be boastful. He's not going to be arrogant. And ladies, let me say something to you. If you see a man who's impatient, unkind, boastful, envious, and arrogant, why do you want to be with him? If you're willing to accept all those bad character traits for money, you're getting exactly what you deserve. You forsook all the beautiful, you forsook character for money. You say, I don't care if he has a bad character. He has a bunch of good money, though. Don't cry about it later to me. Rude. Friends, let me ask you a question. My men and my women, when is love ever rude? When is love ever mean? It's not. It's never rude, never mean. Love does not insist on its own way, okay? It does not insist on having its own way. That's not how love is. So if you're in a relationship, men, and everything has to be your way all the time because you're the man, quote unquote, and everything, we can never do what she wants to do, and vice versa. For some of you that are in a relationship where your woman is a little domineering, or maybe you're just overly submissive, whereas one can do what she wants to do. What relationships y'all in? And if you're that person, look in the mirror and check yourself. Look in the mirror and say, why does everything always have to be done my way? Why do we always have to do what I want to do? Why is it always about me all the time? You're broken, friend. You're selfish. You're toxic. Okay? Seriously, look yourself in the mirror and say, man, did I do anything for my spouse today? Did we do something that they wanted to do that maybe I didn't want to do? Why does it always have to be my way or the highway? What is this? Who wants to be married to a person like that? Who wants to be in a relationship with a person like that? And listen, if you're not married yet and you see these flags, get out of there. Get out of there. But, he'll be 6 foot tall, 6 inches, 6 figures, and you'll suck it up, right? Lord have mercy. Everything doesn't have to go your way all the time. What about maturing? What about just growing up? Everything does not have to go your way all the time. Love, friends, is not irritable. Let me talk to y'all. Come on, men, women, if he loves you, you will not be an irritation to him. Don't bother me when I'm watching the game. Don't bother me when I'm watching the fight. Don't bother me when I'm on my phone. Don't bother me when I'm working in the car. Men, you know what I'm talking about. You're impatient. You're irritable. Get out of here. You're disgusted. You give them this face that you don't want to talk to them. Get away from me. A look of you're so stupid. How do you think that makes your spouse feel? How do you think that makes your lady feel? When she feels like a bother all day to you, all night. What do you think that does to our heart? And then we turn around, men, and want her to be warm in the bedroom with us later when we've been cold to her all day long. Yeah, I'm giving you free game right now. Do a reality check. You know how we are. I'm working on the car. You're in the middle of doing something. Your mind's focused. And then your wife, children come in with a question. And now you're irritable. You're irritated. You respond hastily, rash words with the wrong tone. And then you justify because it's like, well, I'm doing something. I'm in the middle of something. Listen, your game, your dumb game you're watching. That stupid phone you're on, supposed to be a smartphone, making you dumber and dumber every day. That scrolling that you're doing, this goes for you too, ladies, is not more important than your wife and your children. Somebody has to say it. Your job, sports, Netflix, scrolling, some series you're watching is not more important than your children, your wife and your children, your husband and your children. Listen, even if that job in that car is for getting you money and providing you, God's the one giving you the strength to get the money. Those things still are not more important than your family. Friends, let me tell you something. You don't know which one of you are going to die first. You don't know when your child might take their last breath. Your spouse may take their last breath. And you may be there in that ER room at their deathbed with a whole bunch of regret because you've been a nasty, terrible spouse. You've been impatient, unkind, unloving. You may be there in that deathbed going like, man, if you're even privileged to have that they may die in a tragic accident. And you may not have a chance to say sorry, to apologize, to make any wrongs right. Check how you're living, man. Check how you're treating the people that you say you supposedly love. Check yourself. I'm talking to you. There was a man in the Bronx I remember hearing many years ago. He lost his entire family, his wife and children, one car accident. They went over the side of, I think, an overpass. Everyone died like that. Lost everything except God in a moment. Went to work that morning, married and a father. Came home that afternoon, widowed and childless. And I wondered how he treated his wife and his children every day. Because you know what? He couldn't go back and do it over now. We are so focused on the wrong things. Flashy cars, money, being fit. I'm not saying being fit and healthy is not important. Status, character. What about character? What about love? What about patience, kindness, respect? I mean, this is why everyone's breaking up. This is why there's so many divorces. A lot of us don't need to be with anybody. Friends, a lot of us need to just be sitting on the bench. A lot of us need to be sitting at the feet of Christ, learning how to be a woman, learning how to be a man, learning how to be kind and patient before we go wrecking somebody's life. I'm telling you the truth, friends. Oh, and God forbid, we can even, men, all my godly men right now, okay, all my professed Christians in here, maybe even if you're Islam, whoever, I don't know who's listening. We'll be this way. We'll be irritable even when we're in our Bibles. We're reading the Holy Scriptures, reading the holy words of God, and then someone comes in to disturb us, and how do we respond? With agitation? With unchristlike words in our tone? With an unchristlike tone, unchristlike words, unchristlike looks? Doing something holy. Praying. You just got done praying. You just got done reading. And now you feel like you're being bothered. Oh, ooh. The hypocrisy, the inconsistency. Where's the congruency? We're all jacked up, friends. Because the words, the wisdom has to leave the pages and actually sink into our hearts, into our minds to produce a change so that we're not bothered by someone just wanting to love on us. Someone is just having a question for us. Hey, babe, where's this? Where's that? Where's it? Like, we'll come out of prayer like this. We'll be in the middle of reading and be this way, friends. I was married for almost 20 years. Have mercy on us. Is this true? Come on, if you can relate to this, respond to me. Talk to me in the comments, friends. Let me know if I'm just going crazy. Let me know if anything I'm saying is true today. Let me know in the comments. Now, here's something that an emotion we tend to assign to women a lot of the time, but it's also applicable to men, all right? Being resentful. Okay, when someone loves you, they're not going to be resentful of you because they're going to be mature enough to be able to handle their emotions and be able to communicate. But sometimes we hold on to having these feelings or expressions of bitterness, right? Bitterness is a sickness. You know, usually bitterness arises when I have wronged you and you make the decision not to forgive me and hold on to it. In place of forgiveness, you hold on to bitterness. And now it's your sin now. You know, let's say I legitimately sinned against you, but you choose to be bitter. Now it's your sin. So you hold on to bitterness or indignation, right? This wrath and anger you have because you were treated unfairly, because someone mistreated you. Be careful, friends. This is a slippery slope you can end up in with resentment. And what I'm saying is to my men, women are not the only ones who experience this resentment. Listen, if you've been cheated on, male or female, and you're not built for forgiveness, this is the one sin that God says you can sever a marriage for in the eyes of God. Don't drag someone through a relationship, a marriage, just of bitterness and resentfulness because you haven't tapped into God to be able to have that. You haven't found it, right? So don't drag people along for a miserable ride of pain. Get with God, figure out what's going on. Lord, can I do this? Can I let it go? Listen, when a man loves you, okay, he is not going to rejoice in wrongdoings. So what do you mean, Brother Gordon? I'm saying when a man truly loves a woman, he's not going to rejoice in wrongdoings like pornography. He's not going to rejoice in wrongdoings like strip clubs. And I know what kind of world we live in today. I know we live in a very progressive world where, you know, I've been there. Go to the strip club with a girlfriend. I've been there, friends. Been there, done that. But as I settled into the truth and I realized the value of a woman, I realized that, you know what? Pornography, strip clubs, liking IG models' pics online, being into magazines everywhere, digital ones now, whatever. I learned how that made my wife feel. Men, do you know how your wife feels, your girlfriend feels when you're watching pornography? You know how it makes her feel? When you're going to the strip clubs, when you're looking at every female that walks by all the time with lust in your eyes. Do you know how it makes her feel when you're liking IG models' pictures, who she doesn't look like, who she's probably already in competition with? Do you know how that makes her feel? If you got online crushes and all this type of nonsense and you got people that you need a hall pass for, ask her. Ask her to be honest with you. Ask her to tell you how it makes her feel that you're doing these things, that you're rejoicing in wickedness and wrongdoing. Ask her what it does to her heart, what it does to her self-esteem, what it does for her affection or love towards you. Ask the hard questions. Ask her how it makes her feel, how it crushes her, how it doesn't make her feel sexy, how it hurts her. Or do you even care how she feels? Because this is where we are, friends. When we're dealing in sin, when you're locked into a sin, this is the thing about sin. It doesn't care who it gets hurt around it. It doesn't care. You don't care that you're hurting someone when you're in sin, when you're in your selfishness and you're living a life apart from God, apart from Christ. You don't care. You want them just to suck it up and still stick with you, and then you want them to be able to be intimate with you later on. And then you blame them. Well, why you don't want to have sex with me? Why don't you caress me? Why don't we have this intimacy? Because you are destroying the intimacy with the pornography. You're destroying the intimacy with the like and the IG. You're destroying the trust. You're destroying the relationship. You're destroying the respect that she once had for you and the love she once had. You're destroying it, man. And ladies, if you're doing the same thing on your side, you're doing the same work. I don't know why this is such a hard thing, such a hard concept. I don't know why I get online and no one's willing to call a spade and tell people what they need to do to actually have a good, healthy relationship. Cut it out. You got to get praying. You got to get rid of the pornography. Done. You got to stop going to the strip club. I mean, and then we wonder, why are none of my relationships working? Why I can't, what? Are you serious? You can't be serious. Y'all can't be serious, friends. No, y'all can't be serious. Are y'all for real? Are y'all really asking like why my relationships are not working? Men, sin, ladies, sin is real. Again, it does not care who it hurts. It does not care if it makes you cry. It does not care if it places disdain in your heart, because it's all about me. When you're in your sin, it's all about you. It's all about how you feel and what makes you feel good. It's not self-sacrificing. It's the epitome of selfishness. I challenge you to look your spouse in the eye, ask them and let them be honest with you and find out how your lustful eyes, your lustful gazes, your infidelity in your mind, what is really doing to them and how it's really breaking them down. Because see, love rejoices in the truth, friends. You hear what I said, men? Ladies, when a man really loves you, he doesn't have any secrets. He doesn't keep any secrets from you. Yes, ladies, y'all good for this too. There are no secrets, no lying about your whereabouts. What are you, a teenager? Where are you at? What you got going on? Why you not checking in? I'm not asking you to check in because I want to control you. I need you to check in because I'm called to protect you. When I got married, I realized, this is so funny. I realized that everything that my mother wanted from me as her child, the things your parents want from you in order to protect you and love you and provide for you. And they say, okay, I'm finally free from underneath there, which you thought it was like a dictatorship. You thought from under their rule, from being oppressed by them. You're like, oh yeah, I'm so glad I'm free. As soon as I got married, I realized I had to give that same thing that I didn't want to give to my mom, to my wife. It was like, because this is what love looks like. Love wants to know where you are. Love wants to make sure you're safe. Love is thinking that something bad has maybe happened to you because they love you. If you're not built for that, be by yourself and stop playing games with people's hearts and emotions and time, man. This is what it is to be married. You surrender. You're not free to do. Hello, listen. Message, newsflash. Welcome to planet Earth, where you are not free to do whatever you want whenever you want. And to my younger folk, I know that's hard for you to understand, but buck up. You can't do whatever you want whenever you want. If you want love, you got to surrender. You're gonna have to give a part of you up. You're gonna become one flesh with someone. We need to know where you are. We need to know what you're doing for your own safety, huh? We don't need your phone always face down and you keeping secrets. I can't check your phone. I don't want to check your phone, but the fact that I can't check it is a problem. The fact that I can't hold it, can't open it, that's a problem. The fact you got a passcode, like it's not. Nobody wants to be in your device. I don't want to be. Who wants to be in their spouse's device? Hopefully nobody. But when it's being kept from you, it's like, man, now her mind, his mind is just going through all this turmoil. Like, oh, she's cheating on me. He's cheating on me. Love does not have torment, friends. That's torment. That's torture. You're in a relationship and you're constantly thinking that your spouse is going to be cheating on you very near in the future, very soon, or has already been cheating on you. That's torture, man. That relationship is not going to make it. I wouldn't even call that a relationship. It's terrible. Okay? Don't be that person. Don't be that guy. Don't be that gal, man. Listen, if this ain't for you and you're dating or you should be courting, just break it off. If you want to run the streets, just go run the streets, man. Don't drag nobody through like a field of thorns like that, man. Don't do that to nobody. If you're not ready to be accountable to the person that loves you and cares about you and be respectful and mindful of them and their feelings, stay by yourself. Please do us all a favor, because love rejoices in the truth, friends. Love doesn't call it quits over nonsense. Okay? And the reason why love doesn't give up, the reason why love endures all things, friends, the reason why this man will stick with you through all, because you know what he did before he got with you? He prayed for you. He prayed about you. He asked God if this was the one. See, ladies, this is the problem. Men, this is the problem. We enter into these relationships without God. But when you've prayed on something, and when you have confirmation that God has given it to you, you're not going to let that thing go because you know it's a gift from the Most High. You know he's blessed it and he's blessing it. So you're going to endure. Little things are not going to just turn you off and have you set it down for every little, I don't feel it anymore. I just don't love you. You just don't look. I don't know. I just don't know. I'm just quitting. Get out of here. Because you ain't prayed about it. And then you didn't continue to pray in the relationship to maintain it. You weren't on the same page. Listen, here's the reality, friends. There's 90% of the time, I'm just throwing a number out here. I would imagine that 90% of the time, if not almost 99% of the time, people are selfish when they're in a marriage. Selfish. That's going to cause conflict. Someone maybe feel like they're being abused, being deprived, not equally treated. Like, wake up. It is going to take work. The easiest part was saying, I do. That's the easy part. We can say anything. Oh, I do. 2 words, I do. That's easy. But do you when you're tired? Do you when you feel lonely? Do you when your feelings are hurt? Come on. Do you then? When you feel like you've been wronged or when you've been wrong, when you've been let down, when you've been made to feel insecure, do you then? Are you praying then? Are you loving then? Are you willing to take that reality that you may be hurting your spouse or hurt your spouse and you need to make changes? You said, I do. Well, take the accountability then. Get the help you need. Come on. Let's go. Let's get it. Let's put the work in. True love endures to the end, beloved. True love endures to the end. It can bear all things. It hopes all things, believes all things, endures all things, friends. I want to leave you with these words to my male audience. This can apply to you too, ladies. When I was a child, I spoke as a child. I thought as a child. I reasoned like a child. But when I became a man, I gave up my childish ways. I put away childish things. I'm Gordon McGee. This is the No Pillz podcast, Love Fully Scripted. I'm signing off, and I'll catch you next week.